What's going on, my fellow stock market investor and trader homies? It's your boy Kevin. Welcome back to Touchdown Trades. Got a banger video for you guys. We're going to be talking about why EV stocks are about to see a major move. They have a major tailwind and catalyst that will propel them to make a big move in the coming weeks, months, and years. And we're going to be breaking it all down in today's video. It doesn't take a genius to understand that EV stocks have a catalyst in today's political climate. As we see gas prices approach $300 a gallon. I'm just kidding, but they're outrageous, right? It cost me $120 to fill my Jeep up the other day. It's insane. These gas prices and the administration that we have in office today is providing a tailwind and a catalyst for EV stocks and the sector as a whole. So in today's video, we're going to look at what's happening, what is going to happen, and what stocks are the top EV stocks to buy right now. Let's break it down. Let's get it. But before we dive into it, check out the link in the description for Moo. It's the broker that I'm using every day. You get 5 free stocks. Bailey, come here, girl. You get Bailey, come here, girl. She's mad about the gas prices too. Isn't that right? Isn't that right, Bailey? Yeah, you mad? You mad at Putin? You mad at Putin? Yeah. 5 free stocks, link in the description, valued up to over $17,000, and that is the broker that I use in all of my videos. All right, so we obviously know what's happening with gas prices going through the roof. First, we need to talk about the Secretary of Energy, Jennifer Granholm. We have talked about her in the past because she is sitting on some boards for some of the biggest EV stocks out there. She's a Secretary of Energy, and she is getting blasted on social media right now because
obviously we have the acute issues with the Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack, but looking more holistically in a macro view, how does this speed up the efforts at DOE to move in more of a renewable direction, since this is going to have an impact on people at the pump?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously are all in on making sure that we meet the president's goals of getting to 100% clean electricity by 2035 and net zero carbon emissions by 2050. And, you know, if you drive an electric car, this would not be affecting you, clearly. But it's just, it's another, I don't want to, this company,
she said, if you drive an electric car, this would not be affecting you. And the other side of the aisle is kind of slapping her around a little bit in a figurative way, because not everybody can afford to just go buy a new car just because gas prices are climbing. So she's getting a little bit of blowback from this, and she's got a net worth of like $8 million. So she's obviously getting some blowback. But the administration came in and they immediately banned the building and construction of the Keystone Pipeline. For the first time in a long time, the United States was finally energy independent. We were a net exporter of energy. That means that we were selling energy. We had too much. Gas prices were under $2 per gallon. But because of the pressure that Biden has from the green energy side of his political party, the Green New Deal side of his party, they backed him. But they said, you better not screw us over. You better back these clean energy bills and ideas that we have, or else we'll come back and we'll screw you. And he cannot go back on his word. If he goes out now and says, sure, we're going to re-up the Keystone Pipeline and we're going to become energy independent again, we're going to get the West Virginian coal miners back to work, we're going to have oil drilling all over the place, and gas prices are going to be $1.50 per gallon. He could absolutely do that. And I think the majority of America would approve of that given the circumstances that we're currently facing. But the problem is he is beholden to that green energy side of his party and it's not going to happen. The problem with that is he's never going to do that. He's never going to allow the Keystone Pipeline construction to happen. It's just not going to happen. At least that's my opinion. He's never going to be as energy friendly as the prior administration was. So that puts us in a little bit of a situation.
We in a situation.
And that situation is going to be extremely high gas prices. Fleets and common consumers are going to be looking for alternatives. The easiest alternative is going to be EV. And how about tax subsidies? This is going to almost be like a Rona situation, a Rona crisis, in my opinion. I think we're going to start seeing tax subsidies out the ass. If you go buy an EV vehicle, you get a huge tax break. If you have a trucking fleet, if you switch to EV or hybrid trucks, you get a major tax break on your taxes. It's going to have to happen unless they flip-flop on their position on the Keystone Pipeline, unless they flip-flop on their energy, the drilling on federal grounds, then they're going to have to offer us some type of subsidy, some types of tax credit, and when that happens, EV is going to absolutely explode. And I want to be in these EV stocks before these announcements happen. We want to be in on the launch pad before takeoff. The problem that a lot of retail traders have is they chase after the takeoff, after the blast off has already occurred. When you do that, you end up losing money, and that's not what we're looking to do. So let's look at the top EV stocks to get into before blast off. Obviously, a good choice here is going to be Tesla. You can't go wrong with Tesla, even though it's pricey, even though it's not for everyone. If you are a little less risk adverse, you want to stay safer than going in the penny stock space, looking for those potential huge winners, then Tesla is a no-brainer in my opinion. They're in the solar space. They're going to be King Kong of solar. They're already King Kong of EV common consumer. We got robo-taxis coming in the next couple of years. They have several more projects in the pipeline that is going to keep Tesla on top of the EV space. Got the daily chart pulled up on the screen, and we're approaching that key area of support. We're below it. We are below that key area of support, the 880 area. It looks like the next area of support is going to be down here. Boom. We are in kind of a boxed in area. What happens when you get in an area like this, a boxed in area? You're either going to get a breakout to the upside, boom, and a monster move, maybe a retest of all-time highs, or you break out to the downside. But what this does is it gives us defined risk. We can get in this boxed area, and then if it breaks below, we lose, we stop out, but we have defined risk. If it breaks out to the top, then we peel off profits on the way back up towards all-time highs. The next EV stock is Proterra. Proterra is kind of a sleeper. You don't have a lot of people talking about Proterra, but they're a major battery manufacturer. They manufacture big, giant EV mass transit buses, school buses, and to top it off, the icing on the cake, Jennifer Granholm, the Secretary of Energy, was on the board of Proterra. So if there's any government contracts steered towards any EV company, who do you think is going to get it? Is it going to be Proterra, who has an inside relationship with Jen Granholm? I would think that they would have a good chance. And this thing is trading at a massive discount compared to it was just a few weeks ago when we were trading at $80 a share. Now we are trading down here at $34 per share, more than a 50% discount. And it's been a steady trend down, but we just broke over this downtrend. Look, we came down, we found a base, and we broke over this downtrend. And it's going to be interesting to see with these high gas price tailwinds behind the EV sector if this thing can get moving again. We use this area down here as the base and look to work our way back up over $50 per share. My price target on Proterra is around 50. Right now we're trading at 34. That is a nice move there from 34 up to $50 per share. Ticker PRTA. The third and final stock that we're going to be talking about in this video is penny stock Mullen. I did a video on Mullen Automotive, and I will link that. I'll put a card up above. You can click that and watch an in-depth analysis on Mullen stock. Mullen's a very small company, but they have groundbreaking battery technology, an SSD EV battery that is giving the Mullen 5 more than 600 miles of range, and it has a price point of only $50,000. And I say only $50,000, that's still an expensive vehicle, but compared to like Rivian and Lucid, that is cheaper and you're getting a longer range. And the best part is the valuation on Mullen is absolutely stupid cheap, right? We're trading at 118 with a market cap in the penny stock price point range. So this thing's trading at a discount. It made a big move a couple weeks ago, it did a 100% move in one day when they got really good results back from their SSD EV battery testing. It made a 100% move, but has since pulled back, still trading at an insane discount compared to where it was a few months ago, up at 15. It crashed with the rest of EV, but now we're looking to get in and ride that next wave. Once that momentum comes back to the EV space, a penny stock like Mullen could see a monster move. This is like 2, 3, 4, 500% upside potential here with Mullen. The same exact thing that happened with tech in the early 2000s. The tech bubble crash. I think that same thing happened with EV. We've already seen the bubble pop. We had to get rid of the frauds, the scams, just like tech had to get rid of the fake. Any website went to the moon, and that's not the way it should have been, right? You have to get rid of the fakes, the fugazis, and then the real companies come out of the ashes like a phoenix. And that's what I think we're seeing here with electric vehicle stocks, as when we had the first run up, anybody with the name EV in the stock ticker or the company, it just went to the moon. And that's not the way it should be. Only the real companies should be making those types of moves, and we had to clear the way out for the real companies to survive. And now is a great time to start an entry, to get a position, to take some nibbles in the EV sector, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Remember, get your 5 free stocks from Moomoo, link in the description. I love you guys. Be safe out there. Smart trading, smart investing. Let's get it. Catch you in the next one. Deuces.